Handshake and Raising Cane sure are popular, but are the prices worth it to make it a second union?
NewsWatch takes a look at Pavilion prices coming up. Good evening, I'm Madison Heil.
And I'm Abby Cummings. Last week, the Ole Miss campus was shocked with the death of star track and volleyball athlete Ty Laport.
Tonight at 6 p.m., friends, family, and fans gather to honor her life. Elise Mims has the story.
Laport was a standout student athlete, remembered by many for her positive attitude on and off the court. Laport ranked among the top 10 in the SEC hitting percentage for volleyball, and as a member of the track team, she ranked 9th in school history for the outdoor high jump. She also excelled in the classroom by getting SEC academic honor roll for the past 2 years.
I don't think Ty's ever met a stranger. Like, she's always smiling and like happy.
I think the same thing about her. Like, she always had a smile that impacted everybody. Like, she could just walk in here and instantly I'd want to go over there and talk to her, because if I was feeling down, she would make me feel like so happy.
Friends, family, and teammates have contributed cards, flowers, and notes in the Gillum Center next to the volleyball court where Laport played her last season. As a friend of Ty's, I also contributed a note remembering her.
And before we left from the track meet, the last thing I got to say to Ty was that I love her and that I was going to see her Sunday. But unfortunately, plans didn't go as that, because God had a different journey for her. But I'm glad I met her, and I'm glad I got to be a part of her life.
Tonight, here at the Pavilion, friends and family will gather to remember Ty Laport at 6 p.m. Elise Mims, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
And of course, anytime you like, you may donate to Ty Laport's Memorial Fund by visiting OleMissSports.com. Over the weekend, there was a tragic incident in Kalamazoo where an Uber driver killed 6 others. And this is not even the first incident of Uber drivers becoming violent. For more on this growing issue, Sudu Upadhyaya joins us in the studio. Sudu.
Thanks, Abby. Since its founding in 2009, Uber has quickly become one of the most popular ride-sharing services in the country, but the company has also seen its fair share of controversy.
Brian Dalton? Yes.
This is Jason Brian Dalton, the man accused of killing 6 people and injuring 2 others in a shooting rampage over the weekend in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The shootings in Kalamazoo are just one example of a list of crimes committed by Uber drivers, which Angel taxi owner Suzanne LaCroix says may be a result of company hiring policies.
They haven't done a really great job with background checks. If they had, this would have been screened through. Here in Oxford, the taxi rules and regulations that are in place for a reason.
To see how easily drivers are hired, I decided to check out the application. After creating an Uber account, applicants are asked for references, vehicle information, a basic background check, an uploaded photo of a driver's license, and if no criminal activity is shown within the past 7 years, anyone can become an Uber driver. While Uber is not allowed to operate in Oxford, many students have used the service in other places and have mixed reactions to it.
Yeah, I can still see myself using Uber. I think that they need to do a better job screening who they're hiring for their drivers, not just giving anyone a pass to be their Uber driver. But I think I'll still use the app probably. It's a pretty convenient way to travel, cheaper than a taxi.
I would go with a taxi more of, because they're professional, I guess. Uber, you can't really trust who you're with.
I feel like I still would use Uber. I think that that's just like a small case that, I mean, it's not common. If it's like a very common thing, then I would never use Uber.
I know that it's a good company and they tried to get something good started in the first place, but since everybody has to have a background check that doesn't really, I feel, go through a sort of systems in the first place, then, I mean, you really never know who's going to be giving you rides, as opposed to taxi drivers who actually have to go through the city or go through major companies that get background checked and have everything cleared. I mean, I could sign up and be an Uber driver tomorrow.
For those who choose to use Uber, LaCroix has some advice.
They better know who their driver is. That's what I tell my daughter. She's used Uber in New York City. I have no problem with Uber, but they have not gotten the permits, the insurance, per se, per vehicle, and the licensing down yet.
It's going to be interesting to see how Uber addresses the violent incidents. The company did release a statement saying they are heartbroken and will cooperate with police, but this is a problem that LaCrosse says may lie within Uber's policies. Abby, back to you.
Thank you, Sudu, and congratulations as well. This weekend, Sudu was one of many big winners from the Ole Miss School of Journalism at the 30th Annual Southeast Journalism Conference. 27 of this weekend's awards went to Ole Miss students. Ole Miss was named grand champion for on-site competitions. The conference was hosted by Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee, with 324 students and faculty in attendance from 27 colleges across the southeastern United States. Next year, the conference comes to Ole Miss for the 2017 competition. You can find the full list of awards, including many other first-place finishes, in today's edition of the Daily Mississippian.
You might have noticed a blood donation truck parked in the circle today on campus. Dylan Lewis tells us more about the donation event.
For some, it's their first time. For others, it's a routine habit, but all are doing it for the people who might need blood transfusions. The United Blood Services and Ole Miss ROTC sector teamed up today for blood donations on campus.
So you'll walk into the van and they're going to have a questionnaire of all the questions that you need to pass to be able to donate blood. It's about 30 minutes per person to go in. The blood that they donate or that they get from these donations, they're going to give to hospitals here in northern Mississippi.
With a previous average of over 200 donors at last year's event, the Ole Miss ROTC is hoping for even more this year.
I have a universal donor, so I just feel like, why not donate blood? Like, it could help a lot of people. Just like any other time for me, just go in. They're really like, make sure you're okay. They really take their time with you, patients, make sure everything's good. Because I gave so much, I have to wait until June before I would be able to, but I definitely plan on giving blood again.
The United Blood Services will be back here this Wednesday at the Ole Miss Bookstore, offering a chance to give blood once again. Dylan Lewis, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
It's no surprise that students are loving the new food options at the Pavilion, but are they loving the price differences on game day? Emily Lewis has the answer.
The newest additions to food options on campus are in the Pavilion, and students are taking advantage of them.
I mean, it's really convenient being able to come here during regular hours and use your flex.
Here at the Pavilion, on most days, students can come and grab something to eat using their student IDs. But on game days, that's not the case.
The reason it's more expensive probably, if you think about when you go to the stadium, it's a little more expensive as well, but it's not open every day. So we're the first entity to be open for service every day, so you have something to compare it to. If you ask people to go to a football game, the prices are going to be a little bit higher for food over there as well, but there's nothing to base it on because you don't just go to the stadium to eat a meal. So that's why it stands out so much.
It's just frustrating. It makes you not want to eat here.
I mean, I don't think about like always carrying money since we can get in for free anyway to the basketball games.
Because we cater to more people as well besides students, so you don't have a lot of population that have a meal card that come in to watch the basketball games and the women's games, if that makes sense.
The Steak and Shake manager says that the ultimate goal is to benefit everybody that comes through the doors of the Pavilion on game days or school days. Emily Lewis, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
The Oxford Film Festival was this weekend, and it was a great way to bring filmmakers together.
Jack Bedrosian has the latest from this year's event, but first, Stormwatch's Taylor Martin has our first look at the current conditions.
What's going on, everyone? It's currently 49 degrees here in Oxford. We've got cloudy skies, and it looks like the rain just stopped, but we might be expecting some more later on tonight and tomorrow. I'll give you guys some more details later on in the broadcast.
Welcome back. Correspondent Jack Bedrosian is in studio with her entertainment report. Jack.
Thanks, Madison. Get your red dresses ready. The Alpha Phi sorority is hosting a red dress relay and King and Queen Hearts pageant Thursday to benefit women's heart health. Fraternity members are asked to participate in the red dress relay Thursday afternoon. The boys will race around the grove, taking turns slipping on a red dress. The King and Queen of Hearts pageant will start at the Ford Center at 6:30 that night.
Boys will be asked to participate in an additional swimsuit portion of the competition.
Alpha Phi member Marissa Jones has the key to winning the contest.
Have a non-basic but really interesting swimsuit.
You can buy the tickets at the Student Union box office for $5. 2 Phones rapper Kevin Gates is coming to Oxford next Friday, so buy your tickets now. The Baton Rouge artist will be performing at the Lyric, and tickets are $30.
Filmmakers from all over the country came to Oxford this weekend to screen their independent films at the 13th Annual Oxford Film Fest. The weekend was full of panels, movies, and parties. Some of our favorites include comedy short Spaghetti Man.
You know, everyone has to have a job. Everyone's job defines them. Mine happens to be spaghetti.
Is that eating spaghetti?
It's being spaghetti.
All right.
He bites crying with spaghetti.
And documentary Finding Cleveland.
It's about the Chinese in Mississippi in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it's about what happened in 48 hours. We took a trip 2 years ago to find out what happened to his grandfather, who came from China to Cleveland, Mississippi.
If you missed out on the fest, don't sweat it. The Oxford film community is hosting a strategy conference March 21st. Tickets are $10 and you can buy them online at oxfordfilmfest.com. Check back with me next Monday for your weekend entertainment. Madison?
Welcome to Rebel Watch. I'm Jacob Duke. The Ole Miss baseball team opened up their season this weekend in a 3-game series against Florida International University. Rebels swept FIU and had one of the largest attendances for a 3-game series in Swayze Field history at 26,910. The Rebels outscored FIU this weekend 32-11. Second baseman Tate Blackman and pitcher Sean Johnson had huge weekends for the Rebels. After a rough freshman campaign, Tate Blackman started off his sophomore season hitting .600 over the weekend with 6 RBIs, including his first career home run on Friday. And Sean Johnson returned to the mound on Sunday for the first time since undergoing Tommy John surgery last season. He pitched 5 innings, allowing 2 runs with 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Ole Miss will be back in action this Tuesday against Arkansas State at 4 here at Swayze. Fans were surprised yesterday when the baseball team came out in powder blue uniforms instead of their Sunday pinstripes. It turns out the players were surprised too. Rebel Watch reporter Victoria Alonzo reports on the reactions of the students and fans. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, the Rebels are back in action this Tuesday as they take on Arkansas State at 4. Over in hoops, the men's basketball team traveled to Auburn on Saturday. The Rebels needed an SEC win and a big night from Stephon Moody. Let's roll the highlights. The Ole Miss Rebels were taking on Auburn this past Saturday. Arkansas is really controlling the paint in the first couple minutes. There's a block on Saiz right there. Saiz gets the rebound, as was still blocked again. Auburn in transition is going to dish it out for a 3. Auburn's already up 7-0 in the first couple minutes of the game. Now later on, they're going to dish it into Simeon Bowers, who's controlling the paint all night, had 18 rebounds with the bucket and the foul. But Stephon Moody bringing his team back with a step back. The 3, nothing but net for Stephon Moody. Stephon Moody in transition again, why not? Pull up, 3. Moody was on fire in the first half, scoring 19 points for the Rebels. Stephon Moody, why not pull up for another one? Nothing but net for Stephon Moody. Stephon Moody was on fire in this game. Now Auburn is going to try to hit a 3. Stephon Moody's doing it all for the Rebels with a block. Going to take it down court. Why not? Windmill dunk for Stephon Moody. Stephon Moody says, watch out, Auburn. I don't just shoot, I can dunk too. Man, Stephon Moody has some serious ups with the windmill dunk right there. Auburn's down now 5. Now this is going to be an alley-oop right here. Auburn's trying to come back. Auburn cuts the lead to 5 on Ole Miss. Auburn's coming back late in the second half. But Stephon Moody's going to get the ball here. Dish it out to Marcanvis Hyman. Marcanvis Hyman with the bucket. Ole Miss goes on to win 69-59. Stephon Moody scored a game-high 23 points, and the Rebels picked up a big SEC win. Ole Miss will be back in action tomorrow against Missouri at 8 in the Pavilion. In women's hoops, Ole Miss fell to in-state rival at number 14 Mississippi State this Sunday, 60-51. Ole Miss shot just 26% for the game. Rebels cut the Bulldogs lead to 5 late in the fourth quarter, but couldn't hang on. Freshman guard Medina Muhammad was the leading scorer for the Rebels with 14 points, going 10 for 11 from the free throw line. With the loss against State, the Rebels dropped to 10-17 on the season and are now 2-12 in SEC play. Just when you think the season couldn't go any worse, Ole Miss closes out their season the home slate for 2015-16 season against number 2, South Carolina, this Saturday at 8. With the NFL Combine starting tomorrow, former Ole Miss Rebel wide receiver Laquan Treadwell reportedly will not run the 40-yard dash in this week's NFL Combine. Over 3 seasons with the Rebels, Treadwell hauled in over 200 passes for almost 3,000 yards and 21 touchdowns. He is one of the top wide receivers in this year's class. Treadwell has the size and the stats, however, there have been many questions about his speed. The latest mock draft has him as a top 10 pick going to the 49ers, but not running in the Combine could hurt his draft stock. He still has the opportunity to run on Ole Miss's Pro Day on March 28th. In recruiting news, 4-star quarterback Tristan Gibbia from Calabasas, California, visited Ole Miss on Friday. Gibbia finished his junior season with almost 4,500 passing yards and 45 touchdowns while leading his team to a Division IIA state playoff berth. He's rated as the 5th best quarterback in the nation in the 2017 class. The Gibbia family has close ties with Ole Miss. His father, Rich Gibbia, played tight end for the Rebels in the 80s, and his mother was a student at Ole Miss. Tristan met with head coach Hugh Freeze on his visit and overall enjoyed his visit to Oxford. Ole Miss currently sits in his top 5 along with Nebraska, Utah, West Virginia, and Washington State. That's all for sports we have for you today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @Rebel_Watch and tune into our sports show Friday at 3. We'll be right back.